On today's episode of Profile Podcast, I will be interviewing Professor Elizabeth Crampton. Professor Crampton is a business law professor at ASU. She is the managing shareholder of Crampton Law Firm, where she practices transactional law here in Arizona. She works with small businesses from startup to exit, helping owners navigate contracts, compliance, and risk. And she also earned the highest score on the Arizona bar exam in 2001. Today's episode is sponsored by Date, and here's a little message from them. Date is a better-for-you snack company specializing in premium stuffed dates with bold, innovative flavors. We combine high-quality natural ingredients with unique toppings to create snacks that are both nutritious and enjoyable. We're not just a snack brand, we're building a community of students and food lovers who want clean ingredients, bold flavors, and a fresh take on the classics. Our mission is to bring a modern twist to traditional snacking by offering gourmet, packaged snacks with unique toppings. We help health-conscious consumers and curious food lovers enjoy delicious, naturally sweet treats that celebrate flavor and quality, one bite at a time. Thank you so much for coming in today and being part of our podcast.
My pleasure.
So to start us off, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and how you became a professor at ASU?
Sure, you bet. So I'm Professor Crampton. I am a full-time business law attorney. So I started my whole journey at U of A. And I was
rival.
I know. I'm sorry. I feel like maybe I shouldn't say that. So I was an entrepreneurship major at U of A, and then I went on to get my MBA at University of San Diego, and then my law degree at California Western. And then I came home because I'm an Arizona native. So I have worked as a lawyer in Phoenix for a lot of years. And as far as becoming a professor, it's funny, I've kind of thought about it for a long time, but I had young kids and I was driving them all over the place and it was like not going to work out, timing wise. Sometimes I would pop in and I would see like whether there were any jobs, and there weren't. So I just kind of put it on hold. And then when my youngest got his driver's license, I thought, well, I have a little bit more free time. And I popped in, and literally the perfect faculty associate position was right there for me.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it was just kismet.
Yeah, so have you taught the same course while working here?
I have.
Okay.
So, yep, I only teach Legal and Ethical Studies 480, and this is my 4th semester teaching.
Very exciting.
Yeah, yes. I love it.
So what inspired you to go into transactional law, and what does your day-to-day work look like as an attorney?
Okay, so first of all, I'm a 4th generation attorney. My father's an attorney, my grandfather's an attorney, and his father was an attorney, so my great-grandfather. So
here in Arizona?
My dad was here in Arizona. My grandfather was a tax attorney in D.C., and he worked as the assistant attorney general for Nixon's administration. So he was,
Whoa.
Yeah. So
that's great.
I know it's fun Googling him because I see all the cases that he argued in tax court. So that's kind of fun.
Mm-hmm.
And then my great-grandfather was an attorney in Cleveland, Ohio, and he didn't even have to take the bar exam. So there's that. Yeah, back in the day, there was no bar exam.
Okay.
I know.
Wow. So you can kind of just like wake up one day and be like, I want to be an attorney.
Pretty much. I mean, you have to go get educated, know. But yeah, there used to be a time when there was no bar exam to pass. Yeah.
So that's very interesting.
I know. Go back to your question.
Oh, yeah. So transactional.
Okay, so yes. I grew up with my father, who was a litigation attorney, and that was not anything that I was remotely interested in. Not at all. I actually went to law school to complement my business degree and my MBA. I always thought that I was going to end up in the business sector, not in the law sector. So even 3rd year in law school, I still thought I'm not going to practice law. But then I took a business planning course at law school. I loved it. I realized then that you could be on the deal making side as opposed to the deal breaking side. Mm-hmm. So I'm not very combative or argumentative. I never saw myself in a litigation role, but I found out that there was this whole other side of the law practice, and that is the transactional practice of law. So I loved it.
Oh, that's so interesting. And it's like also great that, I mean, for being an attorney, like it's not all about being in the courtroom and being super, like argumentative. There's so many other avenues you can take if you're interested in law.
Yeah,
so
there really are. Fun. There really are. And I had no idea because my dad was a litigation attorney. And even my grandfather in the tax, he was in tax court all the time, arguing.
Yeah. Very interesting.
Yes.
What is it like being a full-time attorney and also being a professor at ASU? Like balancing that?
Well, it's kind of hard to balance. I'm not going to lie. Okay. And I'm a mom too. So it's a lot, right? And I don't know if I'll ever find the perfect balance in life. I'm still striving for that. So, but we do our best, right? And I love the professor job. I love practicing law, and I make it work.
Well, hopefully you'll find the balance
eventually.
Soon, but I think so far from what I've seen in the classroom that you are doing pretty great so far. So
thank you, Isabella.
And then what do you think is like the biggest misconception about being an attorney?
So I thought a lot about that question. I think the biggest misconception is that people tend to think attorneys are argumentative, right? I can't even tell you the number of parents that will tell me their child needs to go to law school and be a lawyer because they argue about everything. And I always want to say that is really not the characteristic of a good attorney, right? You want your attorney to advocate for you, but you don't want them to necessarily argue just for argument's sake, right? You want them to negotiate and come to terms. And so I don't know that being argumentative is something that is necessarily a characteristic of attorneys.
Yeah, that's actually very interesting because a lot of what law is like coming to an agreement and like coming to terms, bringing two sides together, not making it more worse, you know?
Exactly.
Well, outside of work and teaching, what are some of your hobbies and interests?
Well, I love skiing.
Yes.
Yep, especially when there is actually snow on the ground. So we are fighting for that this year. I have not been.
It's been terrible.
It's very frustrating.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I love skiing. I've skied since I was 5 years old. I raised my boys on the mountain. Like we all ski. My whole family skis. So that is a fun thing for me. The other thing that I love to do is I am an avid Suns fan.
Ooh.
So I have about 25% of a season. So I go to 10 or 11 games, at home games, obviously, and watch the Suns play. So tomorrow night will be the Warriors. Yes. So we'll see. I've never seen Steph Curry live. So I'm excited on that end, but I'm a Suns fan.
That's so fun. That's a fun hobby to get into. I mean, I wish I could go to every Suns game. They're fun.
They are so fun.
And it was I was so into it. I mean, I never really was into basketball before. I was like, wait, I think I found my sport.
It's a whole thing. It's a whole thing at a Suns game.
Yeah. It's so much fun.
Yeah.
Okay, now we're going to go into more questions about the classes that you teach.
Okay.
So what is your teaching philosophy and how would you describe your teaching style? And as we know, you play music when the students walk in. So tell us a little bit about that because that's one of my highlights with your class.
Oh, that's so fun. So when I look back on my undergrad years, I remember a handful of classes, right? I mean, you take 45 classes in undergrad. I mean, what do you take, right? And at the end of the day, what are you going to remember? I want less 480 to be a class that you remember. I want to be in that handful. I want to be in the top 5, classes that you took at ASU, right? So how do I do that, right? I can't be the typical lecturer that comes in, drones on, and leaves. I can't do that. So instead, my approach is make it fun, make it interesting. I mean, this is a very challenging class. It's hard. Make no mistake, even though we try to present it in a fun way, it's a lot of varied and challenging material. I mean, every single day that we're in class, we're doing a snippet of what a class would be like in law school. So we've done intellectual property. You can take a whole semester in law school on intellectual property. We covered in one day, but then we move on. We're moving on to contracts. We've got contracts in law school. That's a whole semester or two, depending on the law school that you go to. So securities, regulations, like all of these things are things you're going to encounter in law school if you go. But if you don't go, it's still super relevant. So, and that's what I love is the relevancy of the material. I'm giddy about it. I love the class so much. So I try to convey that when I'm teaching because it is exciting. It's relevant. We're bringing in news articles. You know, you guys are going to use this material for the rest of your lives. And I want to be like, oh yeah, I remember when Professor Crampton talked about this. So that's my philosophy. And as far as music goes, I like energy. I like students to be collaborative. I want high participation in the class. We're trying to teach this as kind of a baby law school class. So implementing a little bit more of the Socratic method, and we're going to be discussing cases back and forth. And I feel like, you know, if you play music, people are a little bit more calm, or sometimes, you know, they're pumped up from the music, depending on what I'm playing that day. So that's what I try. That my philosophy is like, make it practical, make it relevant, and make it fun, even though it's going to be a challenge.
Yeah. And something, I mean, that's so great about you is that you're you're an advocate for the students pursuing law school and the students who have other passions that they're pursuing, but they need to take the class, and you make the class interesting for both sides, whether it's for students who are going to keep going with the education, or like something to, you know, just more information to bring home and talk about because it's exciting.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
Yeah.
I try.
Yeah, you have been, and you bring a lot of like real world like aspects, like things that are currently happening, and that's been really fun.
Oh, good.
Yeah. So, what assignments can students expect to receive in your course?
Okay, so it's standard. It's standardized, right? So everyone that teaches this class has the same as far as the assignments go. So we have a midterm, we have a final, and we have a capstone paper. And that capstone paper, you're picking out some kind of a issue that demonstrates the intersection of law and business. And you write the pros of the issue and the cons of the issue. So you're arguing both sides, and then you're going to analyze what side you agree with and why. So it's really exciting. I love that.
Oh, it's really great. I'm really excited about the capstone.
Yeah,
it's
the
really
paper.
Fun. Yeah. I mean, it's just like much better than like also a lot of busy work assignments, you know, just having like the capstone paper is like a fun way to get yourself involved in the class as well.
For sure. And I learned so much from the capstone papers from my students because there are issues that I've never even thought about. So
exactly,
I'm really digging it.
People find what they're passionate about outside of school and try to like connect it, and that's what's really fun about it. So, how can students get the most out of your class, and what should students expect to walk away learning or knowing after the course is completed?
Okay, so I think to do well, I have my 3 Ps, as you know, Isabella.
Yes.
So you need to prepare. Right? So it is really important to actually read the materials, particularly the cases, brief the cases, and be ready to talk in class about the cases. And a lot of times with cases, I'll say, well, what happens if this fact was switched? Like, how important was this fact when the court decided what they did? So we'll go through that in discussion. So obviously being prepared, present. So it's very critical to actually attend class. So attendance is mandatory in LES 480 across all sections. It's mandatory because you get more out of it when you're actually there and participating. It's not reading the slides and trying to figure out what happened. So preparedness, participation is the last one, and present. So participation, it's important to get involved. Like if you're quiet, you're not gonna get as much.
Absolutely. What advice would you give a student pursuing law school and wanting to be a lawyer?
Sure. So again, preparedness, right? So if you want to be a lawyer, you've got to prepare. And you've got to study for that LSAT. Unfortunately, that is kind of the way of the world, is that LSAT and your GPA. So if you want to go to law school, you hunker down and you get ready for law school. And if you go to law school, you continue to prepare and you continue to brief your cases. I can't even tell you, like, even after week 1, students would stop briefing their cases and they would just highlight in their book. And they don't do as well. You have to put the time in. You have to put the time in.
Absolutely. Yeah. And our wrap-up question is, what is the most rewarding part about being a WP Carey professor?
Oh my gosh, I love it so much. It's kind of funny. Like, honestly, I did mention that I went to U of A. So ASU and U of A played basketball on Saturday.
Yeah.
I don't know who to cheer for anymore. I don't know. Like, I'm divided. I actually don't care. And I used to be like kind of diehard U of A. So, like, it's kind of changed my perspective.
Yeah, you're morphing into a Sun Devil.
I know. What's going on? Forks up. No, the professors here that I've had contact with are super collaborative and so helpful. I've just enjoyed them so much, and they've really helped me, kind of get my start here. But also, the students that I have are amazing. I love it. In fact, one of the reasons why I make you sign in and the way I do it, right, is that some people use clickers to, like, count attendance. I like it when you guys come in and come say hi, sign in, ask, how's your weekend, what's going on. I love the interaction with the students. So I just find you guys to be incredible. You're fun.
That's so great. Well, for now, we're going to do rapid fire. So it's going to be like a this or that.
Okay.
So, all right. Ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's go.
Coffee or tea?
Iced coffee.
Okay.
Always
good
iced.
answer.
Always iced.
Me too. Window or aisle seat?
Aisle.
Aisle. Okay. Early bird or night owl?
So now, early.
Mm-hmm.
College, definitely night owl. Yes.
Yeah, that's so fair. Cats or dogs?
Dogs.
Good answer. Pepsi or Coke?
Pepsi.
What? Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Always been a Diet Pepsi fan.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Love it. Love it. Okay. Hot dog or hamburger?
Hamburger.
Ice cream in a cup or in a cone?
In a cup.
In a cup?
Yeah, cones are messy.
Chocolate or vanilla?
Okay, I'm gonna go vanilla, but with hot fudge sauce.
Ooh.
Because I had it in a cup, so I can do that.
Mm-hmm.
Can't do that on a cone.
And then finale, brunch or dinner?
Dinner.
Awesome. Well,
Absolutely.
thank you so much
Oh my
for coming
gosh,
on our
my
podcast
pleasure.
today.
My pleasure. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thank you again.